forgot to do something. Hang on. Hang tight while I duck under here to bring us up on my iPad. Hang on. Oh, goodness. Here we go. All right, there we are. How is everybody this Saturday afternoon? It's afternoon because, hi, Matilda. I assume your name's Matilda since it says Scrappy Matilda. You just popped up. We've got loads of people in the chat I can see, so welcome, welcome. And I just realized I forgot to do something. I'll get to that. There's something by my foot. I taught a 3-hour class earlier. It ended about, hour and a half ago. So I'm kind of moving from one thing right into the other. Makes things a little bit crazy, but welcome everybody. My name is Lael Kankar. I know many of you, or we've kind of gotten to know each other over the last however many Saturdays since March 21st, I think, of 2020, where we have been getting together every Saturday-ish, normally Saturday mornings, but things kind of have to move around a little bit when I'm teaching virtually. So we've been getting together talking about all things Traveler's Notebooks. And the last couple of months, we have morphed into doing listing. So we will be listing today, and I call it creative listing. So we will be making lists. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I always, the day before, sometimes the night before, will publish the 3 topics for our lists. And I publish those on my blog the day before. And I also send out an email with a link to where you can find those lists, as well as a link to the video, so you can find us when we are live. So welcome everybody. I have my own little business. It's called Lael by Mail, and I have a website. We have all kinds of things, scrapbook kits, lots of the products that we use in our Saturday sessions, Traveler's Notebooks, and things like that. So if you haven't checked out my website, I would love for you to do so. As we work on our lists every Saturday, I include links to a lot of the products that I am using in the description of the video down below, because there's always questions, and I put those there for your reference if you'd like to know where I purchase them. In a lot of cases, you are finding them on my own website, or you may be finding them other little places around the interwebs. Every few videos that we do, I always like to remind you and encourage you, if you have a local small business, a local scrapbook store, a local stationery store, really any local. We should always shop local when we can. So if you have one of those stores in your area, I always encourage you to support those. Oh, I know, always forget this. If you enjoy the sessions and you like what you're seeing, please give it a thumbs up. That is so important to the way that social media works, without getting into a lot of details. But I consider YouTube part of social media. And I would love it for you to give it a thumbs up, because that helps other people like you find us, so they can join in on a Saturday. So, what I realized I forgot last week, we've been doing some giveaways, right? We've been doing some giveaways every week with little prize packs from my friend Andy, who designs the, I don't even have it out today. Oh heavens, where is it? Oh gosh. Well, anyhow, I have 2 giveaways to give away, but I forgot to draw the names. So I will draw the names after the video. I will tag the 2 individuals that won from last week. So I need to go in and pick 2 random comments from last week. Andy has sent me more stamps. I placed another reorder of stamps. And she sent me a few giveaways again. So we'll do giveaways. We'll skip this week. We'll do another giveaway next week. How about that? Since I'm not sure where I put the stamp, because I'm in the middle of like 10,000 projects right now, and it's December, and that's what happens. So I see lots of chat happening. If you haven't joined before, or if you have and you've always wondered what the chat is all about, there is a live chat, typing, not talking, chat that takes place during the videos as well. And there's an amazing friendly group of individuals, and they're some of the same ladies every time. Some of the same ladies have been with us since March. Newbies, all kinds of things, but I love it when you guys are chit-chatting there. I always get really jealous because I see all of these comments coming, and I can't, it's It's like I'm in a room with all of you and I am gagged. Like I can't speak, so I can't, well, it's gagged and I also have blinders on because I can't read I cannot read any of them because I am trying to speak at the same time. And sometimes that's a little bit harder than it seems, right? Being able to speak and read and all at the same time. So welcome everybody. Good idea. So apparently Mari had a good idea. I have no idea what it is. Another Lael class at Lael U. Yes, Colleen, that is what it is. Hi, Karen. All right, you guys. So what I am going to do here, I am going to flip the camera and turn on the lights. Those of you that have been with me before, you know the drill. The camera's going to spin for a second. So arms and legs inside the right at all times while we spin. Hang tight. Ooh. Okay, there we go. There's a light. There's a light. Okay. Let's get all situated. I think we are pretty good. Yes, Sharon, thank you for the reminder. Like the video. If you like what you're seeing, please, 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 if you enjoy them, please like the video because it's super important. All right. Crafty Chats Cafe. Glad you caught us as well. Hi, Donna from San Jose. Mari, yes, like and share. Perfect. I'm going to be a pro at flipping that camera. I know, Kathy. I am total pro at flipping the camera. And guess what? I had better be, because guess what Sam did yesterday? So Sam, if you've been participating for a while, Sam is our younger son. Yesterday was Sam's birthday. Oh, heavens, we're so crooked. Yesterday was Sam's birthday. Sam turned, oh, yes. Thank you, Colleen. Where'd he go? Yesterday was Sam's birthday, and Sam turned 20 yesterday. Sam also moved yesterday, so he will no longer be my helper on Saturdays. Although he was here this Saturday morning. He had to pop in and grab some more things. He decided to move in with some friends, and, he's 20, and that's what he wants to do. No, it's okay. It's good. It's good for him. I know it's with lots of young adults that age. This is a trying time. Well, let's be honest. It's a trying time for all of us with COVID, right? But trying time for him. He was college for, about 6 months before COVID happened. So he just got a little bit of taste of freedom and then had to come back home. So he's excited to kind of be out on his own, and we know very well the friends that he's moving in with, so it's all good. Anyhow, so I know we will miss him. I know, Kylie, but you know what? I'm sure he'll be back. He'll be back, or I might have to bribe him to pop in. I did learn last week that Jack, our older son, who lives up in Washington State, he told my husband, because, he pops in every once in a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so impressed that he even remembers. And he told Nick that, it just comes up automatically because he subscribed to my channel. So that was kind of funny. Anyhow, how to turn on sound on your iPad. Tracy, check the upper right hand side along the edge. There's usually 2 little buttons, the volume. Maybe that's it. Oh, you got it. Okay, good. All right. Okay, guys. So we have 3 lists today. Our first list is one that we always do the first Saturday of a new month. Good morning, Kathy from West Australia. How fun. So this list we always do. Colleen, there'll be laundry runs back, and there'll be groceries, and so he's never really lived on his own before. I mean, he lived in a dorm for 6 months for school until all that went out the window with COVID. But he's never really lived on his own. So buying toilet paper, he did buy groceries in the dorm, but anyhow. So it'll be interesting for Sam, utilities and groceries and toilet paper and all of that, right? You got to grow up sometime though, right? No, Mari, I do not do his laundry. Believe me, I don't do it. He's really good about it. He does his own. Julianne, I was telling you about Jack and that he has because he subscribes to my channel, it automatically lets him know when I have a new class coming, starting. And so that's when he usually pops in. So I thought he was just being, he just remembered. That's okay. Doesn't matter. All right. So our first list that we always do the first Saturday of a new month is called About Last Month. So I do just kind of a run-on list of things that happened in the prior month. So I thought we'd take a look at the last few months that I've done that, and then we will jump into About Last Month. So if you'd like to participate with that, kind of start thinking about last month and things that you might want to list that happened. When I do that, I'm listing all kinds of things, big things like about last month in November, we had an election here in the United States. That was kind of a big thing. So that will for certain be on my list. But other times, there I bought fresh flowers at Trader Joe's, or we had spaghetti for dinner. Not that, but it can be whatever you want. A lot of times it's hard for me to remember what happened last month, right? So I just thought I'd share a few tips on what I do to kind of help me remember so that when we get to this point, it is easy. I go and look at my calendar on my phone. And when I look at my calendar on my phone, I'll see if there are any, dates that I need to remember that happened last month. But the other thing I do is I go and look at the camera roll on my phone. So the photos that I took, that is a great kind of like little diary. And if you sort by month, it was really easy when I sat down to kind of make the pre-list for making our list. I could just go through my camera roll, and anything that was from the month of November, there were a few things that I had forgotten about. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make sure to add that to my list. So that's generally how I kind of start to compile my list. Crafty Landing, your election was big over here too. I think our election was big in a lot of places around the world, and I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing. Anyhow, it would be nice if we all just kind of had our own elections and really didn't we need to worry about what's happening in other countries, but I think not as much as other countries have been worrying about what is happening in the U.S. with our COVID numbers and the politics and all of those things. All right, so taking a look at a few prior months before we dig into what happened last month. So this was August. And August, just kind of a run-on. And I added some stickers in between the different things that I was just listing, right? And so after I did this one, I had forgotten when we were listing, if you were with me when we did this list, I had left this page blank because I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a few photos. And then I completely forgot. So now I come prepared. I always make sure I have my little photo side of my list ready to go. Starting in September is when I started adding the photo. And what I thought, sometimes we just don't feel like really being creative. I mean, we want to be creative, but sometimes we don't really want to have to reinvent the wheel. So what I decided in September that I would do, I was going to roughly follow that same format that I had done in August, where I have title up here, my run-on list, and then some stickers, and then some other things. So that is what I did for September, and broke into a 2-page list where I just pulled some photos. That was weird. I talk with my hands a lot, and I lost you guys for a second because the video stopped. That's very odd. So I'm still going. Let's see. Let's pretend like I'm playing the piano. I'm a little bit delayed. All right. Okay. So interesting. It just stopped on my side. So now I'm about probably 10-second delay from what I am seeing and what you guys are seeing. It doesn't matter. But that did remind me, when I do a lot of filming in a day, oops, I need to plug in here, or else we will run out of juice and then we'll have a problem. Okay. So, yes, that was September, and I've kind of been running with that same theme layout ever since. So this was October, and when we look at it next to September, see, they're pretty much the same. I'm pretty much going with that, that same theme, or not theme, but same design, where I have alpha stickers for the title, and then I'm just doing my big run-on sentence, and then photos here, and then a little bit of decoration. Brenda, if you are blurry, it is most likely your internet connection. And sometimes YouTube will suggest a quality of the video that might be too high for your internet connection, or maybe your internet connection just for a minute. So if you click the gear, the little gear icon that is in the lower right-hand corner of the video, change the quality, go to a lower quality, and then it shouldn't be blurry at all. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue with this exact same layout because you know what? It's working for me. And it's kind of fun to have it be a consistent layout because it's a consistent kind of topic that I am doing from month to month. So I always have the best of intentions. No progress has happened for the last couple weeks on my list after we leave each other on Saturdays. So I'll get there. I have some work to do to finish this one. This one, pretty much good. Work to do to finish this one, and then I've got some work to do still, but that's okay. It'll give me something to do when I never have anything to do, which I'm not sure when that's going to be, but that's okay. All right, so since it's a 2-page list, I will skip this one. We'll come back and do another list here because this needs to be 2-page. So here we go. I have printed out, I can't even remember if I said hi, Cindy. If I didn't, hi, Cindy. So I have printed out 5 photos of just random things that happened last month that I will include on this side of my list. Now, sometimes the colors get a little hard to deal with, right? So this was super easy. September was easy, well, with the exception of that. That was the first presidential debate. The colors on that were a little bit darker compared to all of this. But there was some blue in there, so it worked. Now, this one, the colors, they're just not going to go with my fall stuff. And you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. And that's primarily because there are this was election, and I had to put that in there just because it's a big deal, right? Big deal. We only have our presidential election every 4 years. So that was a big deal, something that happened last month. This one was also a big deal. This popped up on the television one Sunday night in November. Executive order was coming from our governor. Statewide mask mandate, social gatherings now household only, and then it kept going. So I actually took a photo of the TV when that came on and included that. And then I'll talk about some more of the things that I am including. Deborah, welcome. Your granddaughter's name is Matilda. And is Matilda with you too? But good afternoon. I think I said good morning. Good afternoon. Buckeye Beth. All right, friends. I'm totally getting distracted. No surprise. I'm totally getting distracted in the comments. So let me get back and focus on the task at hand. So I need to pick something for a title. Even though I have a lot of red, white, and blue over here, that's just not going to be the color scheme I use because, hello, it's fall, and red, white, and blue, last I checked, not really fall colors. So over here, I know I need alpha stickers. I've pulled out a couple things. Don't be distracted by all the Christmas up here because after this we'll be using Christmas. But I pulled out some of the Days of Splendor die cuts that I thought would be fun to use. I've pulled out some washi that is from the Cozy Days collection because that's the washi from Cozy Days. That's very fallish. I pulled out the sticker book. After I pulled all those things out, I was hoping that there were alphas in here, and there are not large alpha stickers in this sticker book. So that is going to bring me to my standby, just because I know the colors that I'm looking for will be in there. These guys. Some of you picked up something on my Black Friday sale, right? You guys know I use these stickers all the time. These 4 sticker books from Simple Stories, the Color Vibe stickers. I, for Black Friday, had a bundle of these that were on sale. And it was so popular that I decided to continue that sale. So that sale probably won't go away. They're just bundled. You get all 4 of the all four of the color palettes. So I have linked the bundle in the description of the video below, but I also always link those separately. The reason why I use these so often is because, let's see, I'm not sure, maybe the orange, I don't know. I'll have to see kind of what I see that goes in with this. Because 1,758 stickers. There are, I think, oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different colors in each of these sticker books. And then each color has 3 different alpha styles. So large, medium, and then the little squares. So these are definitely a workhorse for me. So as I go through, red, no red. There's brights, lights, basics, and bolds. So I may go with that orange. Yeah, and that orange might work. That's in the brights one. I know the lights are going to be way too light. I don't know. You know what? I may end up with a brown. I never use the brown. So let's see. This is the bolds. So I think that red is going to be, if I'm looking at, although there's some red, look, but there's a little bit of red in some of those die cuts that I think I want to use, but I don't think enough. Oh yeah, no, and then the red would not be good with the red in there, so no. That's a little bit of a golder yellow, but really not enough. Okay. This green actually would probably go really well. It's just, I don't know, that's kind of a, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever used that green just because it's just kind of a, excuse my mouth, a poopy color. It's kind of poopy. All right, so it will either be the orange or it may be the brown. And you know what? I never use the brown. I think it might be the brown. Okay, so Louisa and Megan, hi you guys. All right, where's my pen? So class this morning, there it is. 3-hour class this morning, had about an hour and a half in between in this one. And then also, some of you that are also scrapbookers know that there is a project that takes place kind of in the little industry this time of year called December Daily. And that is something that I have. This is my 13th year of having a December Daily book. And it's kind of fun because you just document one story, one photo, one something each day. And I do it December 1st, the 25th. Anyhow, that has been keeping me very busy as well. So I have stuff everywhere. I had Disney theme this morning, so there's Disney stuff everywhere. See, because I even wore these ears for just a minute when I was teaching the Disney class this morning. And then I have Christmas from working on December Daily. And then I have all of this stuff in here too. So it's a mess. It's all kinds of stuff going on in here, but that's okay. That's good because it's fun that way, right? All right, so I think I'm going to try the brown. I don't know. The brown's going to make me nervous though, but really what I wish. Oh, Susan, hi. Susan. Susan Delgado was in the Disney class this morning. So Susan, you are getting like a full dose of Lael today, aren't you? Oh, goodness. Okay, so here's the deal. What I normally do, I start with the title first and I write about last month and then I put my stickers. And I'm not going to do that right now because I think I'm going to have to get everything decorated first. I know, Karen, I know. I think I'm going to have to get everything decorated first and then I will come back because I have another idea. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it might, I'm thinking, well, I won't tell you what I'm thinking. We'll just see. So what I need to do really quick, I just need to make sure I leave myself enough room. So just going to measure. That is about, 4 centimeters. Normally I don't use centimeters, but that's an even number that I can see. So if we go right there, that would be where my title would end. So if I start my listing probably right about here, I should be good. So let me just make a little pencil mark right there. so I don't lose my spot. Can you do black shadow? Black shadow. Oh, I could do a black shadow. So like layer them. So if I did a light and then a black behind it, just a little bit offset, you totally could do that, Mari. Absolutely. 2.54 in an inch. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. When I do this, I just start writing different things that happened. And I do that ahead of time. I have to do those things ahead of time. If I don't do those things ahead of time, then I don't remember. Or there's things that I forget that I wanted to include. So I do know that I need to have a couple of different colors of the little square stickers picked out because I like to always use just a couple to accent. So I think I'll be safe with the orange. I can come in here though, because back to the sticker book, there were smaller, these guys. So there are smaller letters in that Cozy Days book that are definitely that fall color. So maybe a yellow too, probably a yellow, we'll see. It's just, this is really throwing me off. Between the red and blue and then even the cars here, I had to have a COVID test, so that was part of it. Okay, so let's see. You can tell I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But I'm thinking that could be cute. Because it's a squirrel, right? Squirrel. Okay. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right, so going to my list, just some of the things that happened that I wanted to make note of. Of course, we had the 2020 presidential election. That is the only thing I'll say about politics because we know that politics, religion, certain things that just not a good idea to discuss, right? Oh yes, I know that one needs to be, let's see, let's do this. Daylight savings happened, right? So silly. I don't even understand why we have that anymore. I mean, I know why we used to, but I don't know why we have it anymore. The first thing that I want to highlight is I had a COVID test. I was supposed to go out of town to teach at a virtual event. I know that sounds weird. Why would I go out of town to teach at a virtual event? Other story entirely. So I won't get into that. But literally, was it the night before? I think it was the night before I was supposed to leave. Night before or 2 nights before. I started having a runny nose and I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. And normally you'd think nothing of it, right? Sad because normally I'd think nothing of it and get on a plane. But I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. And that was also, I think right around the same time that executive order came up on the TV that same night. And it said, statewide mask mandate. Now, I know that doesn't seem a lot for some of you because some of you have had statewide mask mandates forever. Utah, don't ask me why, our governor has not done that, just certain parts of the state. But, so that was a big deal when he said statewide mandate. And that and a runny nose, and I thought, you know what? I just don't feel good about getting on an airplane. I just don't think it's a good idea. And so I talked to the lady, my friend Lizzie, that was doing the virtual event that I was teaching at. And I said, I just don't feel like I can do it. And she said, I understand. And we'll just figure it out. And we did, and it was great. But I got a COVID test, except that was on a Thursday morning when I tried to first schedule the test. I couldn't get the test until Sunday. but I did the thing in the drive-through and had the saliva version instead of the nostril version. And the test results came back the next day. It was easy. Just went online and got them, and it was a negative. So, but that was kind of a big thing, right? COVID test. So I had a COVID test, and that is, now I forgot, and I'm a scrapbooker, so this was bad that I forgot. I forgot to take a photo. I thought, oh, I should take a photo when I'm in line waiting to have my test taken. And I totally forgot. So guess what I did? I reached out to my very favorite photographer friend that has a photo for everything under the sun that I could ever need. And that is Google. And I went to Google and I Googled, I think, COVID test waiting in line. And I found this photo. And my car is not right here. And this was not the lady that helped me with my test, but you know what? It could have been, because this is exactly what it looked like. So if you ever need a photo for something, clearly that's not my photo. That came from Google. If you ever need a photo for something and you don't have one, just go to Google and search for it. Then I just right click on it and save it to my phone and then print it out using the Epson Creative Print app and my little handy dandy Epson printer. So COVID test, negative. So that was good. Let's see. Now, these are not in order by any means of like when they happened during the month, because that's too hard to keep them in order. Sometimes I need to worry about spacing. So this little guy might go there. We'll see. This red, I know that red's going to drive me nuts, so I'm probably going to have to figure out a way to pull in some red like that. I'm just looking at some things because I need some kind of floral something or other to go over in here. But that's not, that one I don't like because it's too meh, right? It's a lot of those kind of different browns and oranges, and I don't really, it's too much. So this could work down here maybe. But really what I started looking for was, I started looking for a big old floral thing, like this. So that to me doesn't really work there. The reason it doesn't work is this red is really different than that red. That's kind of a pinkier red, right? So out with the red. Oopsie. Although that could work for Christmas too. Isn't that interesting? Do you have any mums as a floral? I don't know. Where is, this is the other pack. So there are 2 Days of Splendor packs. This one is all florals. So we might find something that would work in here. The other one is different, you know, like fall icons, but this one is all florals. So it will definitely pull in some, oh golly, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I'll tell you what the problem is. I already know. These are super muted colors, and it's just kind of muted fall colors, and I generally don't use a lot of muted fall colors. They're beautiful. I just generally don't use a lot of muted fall colors. So that's why I think I am on the struggle bus. I'm on the struggle bus. Still need something right in here. I mean, they're beautiful. Absolutely, but oh, yeah, no, it's all that. It's all just that kind of same color palette. Not happening. It is not happening in my book. Okay, maybe I have an idea. Maybe if we could get some of this blue in here. Sometimes things come really easily, you know, and sometimes not so much, right? You ever notice that when you're working, that sometimes things just seem to work really well, and other times you'll just kind of move things around a bit and they just don't quite seem to happen. No, that one definitely won't work now. I just pulled out a few. No, I guess it's going to be along the same path. Well, it's just going to happen. I know I said too much of that color, but it's going in. Oh, look at how interesting. Well, you can't see that right now. I'll show you. This is kind of funny. This is September. Look what I used. The Let's Get Cozy. Isn't that funny? And I have it out again. I think the reason I gravitate towards that piece is because it has light blue in it. So it helps to kind of lighten things up a little bit. At least I think that's what's going on. So I think what we're going to do, now that I think about it, I'm going to move all of these things away. We'll come back in and let this be here. We'll let that little washi play, but maybe this may help to brighten things up just a tad. I better put this down. So if you're new to our Saturday listing sessions, this is basically what we do. I list and I think out loud. I think out loud because a lot of times I think it helps to hear somebody talk things through on why they did do something or why they didn't do something. Oh, guess what? I think that has to go there right now because it just adhered. This poor sweater. It looks like moths have hit it because I have, oh heavens. Golly, yeah, that's going down. It's going down at an angle, which normally I don't do, but it's there because the arm came off. See, the moths have really got this one. The arm came off. This one got stuck over there. Oh boy. Anyhow, it's just a matter of when I do this, I'm just thinking out loud and I'm working and I'm adding things and talking about why I think something works and then why maybe something doesn't work. This is the issue. I keep coming back to that, right? It's really hard right now. It is really hard to deal with that red and blue because it's just not really part of the color scheme or the look I'm going for, right? But that's okay. It is what it is. It's just a list, right? So I feel a little bit better about this now. It's a little bit more me. And that's cute, right? That's super cute with the little daisies on there. So now maybe I find a few more flowers from this one. This is Cozy Days. Cozy Days I have used so much of this fall, right? Just in different lists that we've done. Because I like it. It's pretty. Maybe this guy could go over right here. Oh, yes. And then that will go there. So it's that little sticker is actually spanning both pages. So I don't know, these guys may not end up happening at all. Nope, scale of that is off. See, too big, same scale as the sweater, or too small, or too big, because you know what I mean. Boy, I've got a mess going here, don't I? I like the little daisies on that flower, on that sweater, but I don't think there are any other little daisies in this collection. All right, I'll keep going over here. I just needed to place something there, so we're good. We'll do that and then keep working. And then this may be able to go in, but I don't know. Lots of thinking out loud today, my friends. The brown. So now the brown actually could go really well. So maybe that little squirrel's out and maybe the brown goes up here. I'm going to do that. October, October. So 7 Octo. The second O is halfway through. I just had to think that through for a second because I'd like for those to be somewhat centered. So if I put October, right. So if I do that right there, that's the center. And then OCT goes to the left of it. Oh my gosh, it's November. Oh, you guys, look at you. Literally, I don't need, because I'm looking at September over here. Oh Lord, if we were in person, you guys would be like, Lil, wrong month. Lil, it's November. Lil, it's November. Yeah, caught that. And then I look at the screen and there's like November. Let's try that again. November. So there's 8 letters. So I need to do 4 and 4 from the center. Nove. Okay. Goodness. No. I am doing, yeah. Yes, you guys are so good. Nove. November. Uh-oh, hold on. That's a little bit too center. So these I'm just barely going to stick down. Novem. You'll hear me repeat that like 1,012 times because, all right, so really more center would be like here. Now that I have 2 of them, right? This is where the tweezers really come in handy. November. Okay, I think we're pretty good there. Nov. Normally what I would do is I would just write down the month and then I can see it so I don't need to repeat it over and over and over again. But when I'm spelling backwards and forwards, N-O-V. Okay, so now the brown works. The brown works because I have the brown here, but it's also super pink and feminine and flowers, so it's okay. I can deal with the brown that way. Brown is not a color I use very often. Nothing wrong with it, it's just I don't use it very often. And I'm using the little lines in the paper, in the insert, to help me make sure I have everything lined up straight. Sandy, you're funny. Sandy, so I was just thinking I should probably say something about that. So Sandy said, did you check to make sure you had enough of the right letters? And I knew I had enough because I haven't used the sticker sheet before. What Sandy is referring to is because I use these stickers so often, a lot of times I will start spelling a word and then come to realize, uh-oh, I don't have a letter that I need. So when I've been using a sticker sheet for a while, I will show you what I do. And this is, I think, just helpful if you are using, different letter stickers, just to kind of think about before you start. So the black in this one is definitely one I probably use the most often. So in this little sheet right here, you'll see I've got the little things all over my fingers now, the little insides of the letters. So you can see next to a few of the letters, I've put little dots. See, so there's a dot next to the E, next to the S, next to the P, next to the T or the U, whichever one that is. But what that is if I am working with a sticker sheet like this, where I've already been using a number of the letters, I will, before I go to spell a word, I get out my pencil, and in this case, I'd probably use a different, like a pink pen or something. So if I was doing November, I would do this. I would come in and I'd say, okay, there's an N, I'm good. There's an O, I'm good. But I mark them so that I make sure that I didn't already count one. N-O-V, there's an E, there's an M, there's a B, there's another E. Oh, I'm good. So I am okay. Then I know I can start spelling the word with those stickers. So that's just a kind of to help you before you get, all the way to the end and go, oh my gosh, I only had one E, I need another E. And then sometimes you can make an E out of another letter, like an F, as in Frank, or, whatever you need to do to make something work, to piece it together. All right, and you know what? This red and blue is never going to stop bothering me, but it is what it is, right? I'm mixing in now my Christmas and my fall are mixing in together. So one of the ways I might be able to help fix that is if I try to come in here and maybe pull some of this color up that way a little bit. Yeah, I don't think as cute as these are. I just don't know that they're going to work. Although these work well. Let me see if I could find a little piece of greenery maybe that could come up here, but that's like a giant, the scale of that leaf is so off, right? So off. Yeah, no, too big. No, too big still. Yeah, all the greenery is a little big for those little flowers. Ooh, no, that looks weird. I don't know what that looks like, but that looks weird in there. So a lot of times it's just trial and error, right? Just try some different things and nope. Okay, so now we'll come back to this, but I kind of like that. So let's see if we come in here and I know. We have some little leaves in here. Some little ones. The map in gray tones instead of color, I know. So you know what? And I could, that's already what I did here because this had a lot going on. So I could do that. And let me tell you how I would fix that. And actually that's a great idea because it would really fix things if I just came in and changed those colors to black and white. But I've already printed that, right? I've already printed that and I've already started sticking stickers down. And we know that this isn't going to come off because we already tried. So what I will do when we are done, I will go in, I will reprint this sheet again, but changing those two to black and white. And then I will just cut out those two and stick them right on top of both of those. And that will fix the problem, right? Sometimes you just have to do that, right? And that's what I had to do there because there was too much going on in that little Zoom screen. Those are all little individual people and all different colors and it was just too much. So that is a great idea. So Nancy, thank you for saying that. And then Tracy, thank you for pointing that out because clearly I missed that when Nancy said it. So I am going to leave this part alone for now since I'm going to come back and cover it up. But we'll keep going. Sometimes, you guys, the lists take a long time. And sometimes they come really easily, right? And that's just the way it is. So I'm sure that happens with you. When you're working on some projects, you really like the way things turn out sometimes. And other times you're like, yeah, you know what? That just clearly really didn't work. Or it's not working. You're not feeling it. So nah. Okay. Let's go back to our list. Let's just go back to something safe right now. All right, COVID test. After COVID test, we had Nick's birthday. Nick is my husband. And he had a big birthday. Well, big-ish. It's big between two birthdays. Double nickels. So my husband just turned 55. Nick's 55th birthday. And he does not look it, nor does he act it. Not that acting 55 is a bad thing, but so he had a big birthday this month or last month. Let's see, I did the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash. That was the first virtual retreat that I taught at in November. That was this one. So lots of Zooming going on. I could, yes, I could also, as an option, lower the opacity. So what Kathy means by that is lowering the opacity would almost make it look like I put a piece of vellum on top of that because it would just really, really, really tone down those colors. Kind of a little bit more of a, well, I guess that's probably the easiest way to explain it. If opacity is not a word that you normally understand. Brenda, exactly. You put vellum. It'd be like putting vellum over the top if you don't have the ability, if you don't have a photo editing program that would help you to kind of lower the opacity. Okay. That Christmas bash, that was another thing. That's the one I had the COVID test for, and that's the one that I did virtual right here. I also did, I need to mark these off as I write them. So the election. Oh, I forgot to do this, so I'll just add it here too. Zoom party. We did, I did a Zoom birthday party for Nick. So we did a birthday party on Zoom with some of our friends, and I had balloons for us and cake and sparklers on the cake and lots of things. So that was kind of fun. We had that. No one else had that. But we had it at our house. The Christmas bash. Then I did 3, that's going to sound weird. 3 Craft Chicks. So 3 Craft Chicks is a store. Night. 3 Craft Chicks night before Christmas. Virtual retreats. So retreat is now what I'm going to come in with another. Now guess what's going to work? The poopy letters, I bet. The poopy letters, excuse my language. The poopy letters might work here for virtual retreats because now I have a little bit of green in there. So I did, you guys, normally November, really September, like halfway through September, October, and all of November are crazy, crazy, crazy times for me because I'm doing a lot of teaching, traveling and teaching normally. Because it's just that time of year, lots of Christmas classes and different retreats and things like that. This year was still crazy, but they were all virtual, which, you know, I didn't have to travel, but I have to tell you, totally different experience. Because all of those retreats, well, the 2 that I did, the 3 Craft Chicks night before Christmas retreats, and some of you that participated in the Saturday sessions in November, you saw me because I had on special shirts for the retreats and all that because I was also doing our listing classes on Saturdays still. Oh, but like the 3 Craft Chicks ones, they started on Thursday night and went from, I think, 7 until 11 my time on Thursday night. Friday morning starting at probably 7 a.m. my time and going to 11 or 12 that Friday night. Same thing for Saturday. And then Sunday starting at probably 9 in the morning and then going to 7 at night. So they are super long. Valerie, yes, they were so fun. They're super long, which when you're out of town and they're long, you know, you're just kind of there. But when you're home and they're long like that, it's just weird because literally I spent, you know, Thursday night, so probably, I don't know, probably 80 hours in my craft room over 3.5 days. Is that right? Can I do that? 24, 48, 72. Yeah, well, not really 80 hours because I did sleep, but it's weird when you're in the same room for that, you know, amount of time. Like I said, when I'm traveling, I'm just there, so it's not a big deal. But when you're home, it's just kind of weird, like everything right now, right? It's like if you happen to go to school, you're going to school from home, or you're working from home, or people in your family are home, or retreat, ATS. I'm going to get really close there. It's just weird, right? We're certainly spending lots and lots of time at home. Lots of time at home. Retreat ATS. Okay, here we go. So I just like to highlight a couple of words in here because when I do run-on lists like this, where everything just kind of runs together, I think it helps visually to break it up and kind of read between the lines, but it helps to visually break it up. All right, there we go. three craft chicks night before Christmas virtual retreats. That is a mouthful. Yes, Colleen, that is definitely an upside. I didn't have to pack up all my supplies and equipment to take with you. Now, when I am teaching in person, supplies, I really don't take any supplies because other than the project I'm teaching, and then lots of giveaways. But I don't, when I teach in person, I don't make the project at the same time as I'm teaching the project. Virtual, I make the project at the same time as I'm teaching the project, which totally different type of teaching. Because you really have to think. I mean, you have to think anyway, but when I am trying to do and read instructions and do, and then also teach and speak at the same time, yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but different. All right, so my virtual retreats. By now, you guys are like, oh my gosh, my list has been done for 8 years. But you guys work on different things, I know. Hi, Diane. You're visiting in California, so you're seeing your little grandson, yeah? All these things that I learn about you guys that I've never met. Scarlett Forever O'Hara, that's fun. I just saw your comment. First time here. Do you do all monthly layouts in the TN? No, not at all. You just happen to be catching the first Saturday of a new month. I do something called About Last Month, and that's what this is. This one is about last month. But outside of that, we do like last week we did a holiday bucket list. We did movies I want to watch this Christmas. We did prices of everyday items. So generally they are just, different list topics. And you can always find out what those are the day before. The easiest way I think is to just sign up for my emails and then you get the email that tells you where to find that information. But we only do the monthly one once a month at the beginning of a new month for the past month. Okay. But welcome. Nick. Oh, yes. So Nick, so my husband, Nick, and Sam, our son, deer hunt. They went on a deer hunt. That's a Utah thing. Deer hunt. I'm sure it's other places thing with Dave and Cole and I think, and Nikki. Okay, so that's like a cousin, uncle cousin type of thing. So they did that. I asked my husband, I'm like, Nick, so do you have any pictures from that? That I could, it'd be nice to put a picture of something when you guys were like all together, maybe in the great outdoors or, gathered around the campfire or something like that. I'd love to put it in here. He goes, yeah, I only have one. I only have one with our nephew. He got a deer. When he got a deer, I mean, he shot a deer and he is holding the deer. Yeah, I don't go on any of those. But I'm like, yeah, no, I'll pass. Thank you. Like, honey, we've been married 25 years. I am a scrapbooker. And now it's like really part of my life because it's my business. You should know when you go on those things to take pictures. Yeah, he's like, yeah, sorry, I just have the dead deer picture. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to bring the dead deer into our nice Saturday. Yeah, Bambi, we don't want to go there. Okay, anyhow. Oh, yes, of course, Thanksgiving. Although Thanksgiving was a very different Thanksgiving for us this year. We've been married for 25 years. This is the first Thanksgiving where we have had Thanksgiving in at our house, and we've never cooked Thanksgiving before because we usually go to my mother-in-law's or my mom's. Tracy, look at that. A hot air balloon just landed in the street in front of my house, and Santa is in it handing out candy to all the neighborhood kids. Oh my gosh, Tracy, you need to go outside and get your phone and take pictures, and that will be an awesome thing to include in January for your December About Last Month list, that Santa landed in a hot air balloon. I mean, how cool is that? So cool. And I bet the kids are like freaking out, right? Because, Santa freaking out, but Santa in a hot air balloon, that's awesome. Tracy, you'll have to tell us what country you live in, if it's not the U.S., and what part of the country that you live in, because we're thinking we need to know your neighbors, right? That's really cool. Thanksgiving, and we cooked it, because that is the first. A first in 25 plus years. All right, Yes, the next one. Statewide mask mandate here in Utah. And I had to only household only social gathering. Household only social gatherings. And I remembered that because I had the screenshot from the TV. That's how they worded it. Household only, or no, social gatherings now household only. Let's see. Okay, someone said Hawaii. Who said Hawaii? Okay, I missed that part of Hawaii. But if Tracy lives in Hawaii and Santa lands in a hot air balloon in her front yard, Tracy, you're going to have a new roommate really soon, okay? I hope you don't mind. Because I could totally do this from Hawaii. You know that. Because I could be anywhere doing this, right? It doesn't have to be here in Utah in the cold. Okay. Let's see. I had a new... I know. I'm just looking at my list because I want to do, these are, I don't want my words to all be down in one column. So I'm going to do some new letter stickers right over here, and I need a yellow. So that yellow won't work. I need the bold yellow. Okay. It looks like a giant pumpkin landed in my street because they're doing concrete on a new house across the street from us. And there's bright orange concrete blankets all over where they poured the concrete. So it looks like the great pumpkin landed in our yard. The great pumpkin is not handing out candy, unfortunately. All right, what was I going to write there? Oh, yeah. So we've been spending a lot of time at home lately, right? A lot of us. We at the Concar household have been spending a lot of time at home. And my husband, Nick, is extremely handy. He can pretty much do all the things. He can do electrical. He generally doesn't do much of that because that's, sometimes can be a little sketchy. But everything else, he can do tile, he can do any. So I had him put different shelves in for us. So he's done a number of projects in our great room. There's I think the ceilings in there are 12 feet tall. So it's really tall. And then there's a fireplace in the center, and then there's built-in bookcases on either side. And I have had him working on doing some things with that since we moved in about 2 years ago. 2.5, oh my gosh. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. And I've taken pictures of that. We've talked about it a little bit in some of our sessions during COVID, and I've shown you pictures that I was documenting. But what I recently had him do, these shelves were white, and I had him, I saw somebody do something like this on Instagram, where they replaced the shelves that were in the built-in bookcases. And so he built these wood shelves and stained these wood shelves to go in where the white shelves were, because it was a lot of white, because it's 12 feet tall, lots of white. Anyhow, so that's one of the things he did. So I took that photo, popped it in there, and shelves. So shelves, Nick replaced the built-in shelves with beautiful wood ones. All right, this list is going to be like the longest list ever in terms of taking time because I messed around so much over here. So this may be one, I'm going to sound like a broken record when I keep saying this. This may be one that I get a little bit further and then have to come back to next week. I mean, not come back to, like I will do it. About last month, there's part of my title. And then I'll finish it up, but I'll keep going just a little bit more. Of course, well, it was, I did I'm going to do just a few more brown. Where did my brown go? Brown. I'm going to do a small word right there. I think I will get it to work, to fit. Now, this is funny because I was going to I almost wrote brown. Because I was going to write Black Friday, but I almost wrote down brown because I was thinking brown. That would not have been good at some point. But I didn't tell you what I was going to write there, so then you guys wouldn't have been able to help me fix it. You wouldn't have been like, wait, it's not October. It's not brown, it's black. Black Friday. Actually, what I better do, here's a trick when you only have so much space. Start with the end and then work your way backwards to make sure that if I have to really like squish those together, then I'll be okay. If I work backwards, I'll know. Sometimes when I do that, I have even come in and trimmed those little letters a little bit. If they're because they're a little bit wider, I could also trim the letters if I needed to. Make them a little bit skinnier. Just a little bit skinnier. Now this evening, one of my dear friends, it's her birthday, and so we're having another Zoom birthday party. So I will run from this when we're done. Well, I'll have a little bit of time in between. To a little Zoom birthday party, which is nice because really you could wear sweatpants. Really, I could just fix my makeup and then have sweatpants on, and no one would even know the difference, right? Black Friday. So, I kind of morphed this into two different things. I had a Black Friday sale on my website, but then I also did Black Friday shopping online. All right, let's see what else I had. Oh, okay, one more. This one was very near and dear to my heart. The Christmas for the Karchner's auction. That is a friend of mine in the crafting industry who lost her husband very unexpectedly in October. And so a number of us crafters, makers, came together and did an auction for their family. And it was really cool. That was something that was kind of special that happened in November. And the last thing is I had a Smiles from Ear to Ear kit. That was just one of my little kits. And that is Susan, that was mentioned earlier, if she's still on. That was the class I taught this morning that she happened to participate in. All right, so it's getting there, friends, right? It is getting there. Mari, it makes me laugh that you say that. So Mari, I think maybe that's how you pronounce it. She said, every time I hear Zoom, I think of the kids show back in the day. Come on and Zoom, Zoom, Zooma, Zoom. Come on and Zooma, 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 Zoom. And do you remember the zip code? Box 02134. Send it to Zoom. Yeah, the silly things. That's why I can't remember like what happened the month of November, because I have useless trivia filling up my brain, like the zip code from when I was in second grade on if you wanted to write a letter to the Zoom people of the PBS show, that I knew the zip code. Box 350 Boston, Mass. I knew the whole address. Isn't that crazy? The things that stick in your head. Like, I wish I could shove that kind of stuff out of my head because it's useless information and fill my head with things that really were kind of important, right? Yeah. Anyhow, but totally Zoom. I know. That's how you know we're dated is because that we remember that. All right, friends. So I think what I'm going to do, we've spent a lot of time on this list. I am going to move on from this list, and I promise, today was my last class. Well, my last class, not this one, but the one I taught this morning, for a few weeks. And shipping has definitely settled down. So I should have now a little bit more time. I still have to work on my December daily, but I should have a little bit more time to go back to some of my past lists and finish them up. So I promise I will finish this list up and we will see it next week in its finished format. But it'll probably look pretty similar to this because same format, right? Okay. let's move on. Now, everything else that we're doing for the rest of the month is going to be Christmas related, okay? So you will want to have, if you're listing with me anytime during the month, you want to have your Christmas stuff out because that is what I'll be using. Now, if you're not listing with me, then you can have whatever app that you want. Some of you clean the house while we're doing this. Some of you work on your December project. Some of you are, working on whatever. So I'm going to just get these off to the side because they're going to clutter. But I might have to keep him out because he might still make an appearance in this little, oh gosh, those don't want to move. Okay, let's just do this. Now they're all falling out. All right, we'll just shove those to the side and we can get rid of these now. And we will get rid of our alphas. Okay, dokies. Oh, and we can get rid of this fall stuff. All right, look how fast we move from fall into Christmas. Here we go, Christmas. All right, so we have 2 more lists, and one of the lists is favorite holiday traditions. So I'm going to do that list right here. I'm going to do favorite holiday traditions right here. And our last list is another 2-pager. I will do that right here because since it needs to be 2 pages, this list is best gifts. And this one, best gifts, could be best gifts that you've ever given or best gifts that you've ever received. So this one that we're doing right now is favorite holiday traditions. So I have lots of different Christmas product that I have pulled out. I have a little area on my website that has all of the Christmas product grouped together, so it's easy to find. And I have linked that in the description of the video. So if you are looking for any Christmas product, then that makes it easy. All right, so I have pulled out some Oh What Fun. These are called Oh What Fun, and they are from a company called Pink Fresh. And so these are the stickers. And I also pulled out the die cuts. So there's a lot of them. So there's some over here. Oh, here's so much. That's the same company. Pink Fresh is the same company of the Days of Splendor die cuts I was using. So anyhow, lots of fun. The colors in this are really good because it's a really, really good green. It is hard, you guys, to find a good green in Christmas stuff. If you work with Christmas products in any of your projects, you'll know. I don't know why. It's just really hard. And it makes me sad. Oh, that's cute. That little tree is cute. This tree is cute. What I'm a little... This, I just have to find something that will not fight with what I was doing last week, this color, because it's more of a deeper red. Like this really wouldn't go here, right? This really wouldn't go here because right there next to the red, it's 2 different reds and it would look kind of funny. So, although it might not, I might just say to heck with it. This is going to be a quick list, I can already tell, based on just what I'm looking at to use. Oh, I think that I'm going to like that right there. And that kind of works, even though it's a red. I know I said I wasn't going to do a red, but if I put this here, then that's there. It might be okay. Season of Joy, maybe that goes up here instead. Maybe that goes up here, and then I put my little title underneath. This one, his favorite holiday traditions. I had to make sure I remembered what that was. So let's see what else I might want to use. And some of these little things I pulled out. This was cute, but it's pretty big. I mean, it's kind of big, right? So as I think about favorite holiday traditions, this I think is going to have to be a list that has a little bit more explaining next to it, right? So right here, these I didn't have to explain. These were movies. I didn't have to explain what those were. sometimes I explain things like this one when I was a kid. I did a little bit more writing next to my things on what the lists were for that. So I think I need to do a little bit more writing here. Putting red and green together makes mud. Okay, so no. Oh, that ink. Come up. Come up. So this is going to be, like I said, I think this is going to be a super simple list. That may still go there. I don't know, but I like both of these right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those down. So other than pulling product out ahead of time, a lot of times I haven't really thought about how things are going to look. So there's not a lot of pre-planning that goes into this. Sometimes there is, well, definitely on, well, not necessarily pre-planning, but definitely on our About Last Month list because they kind of all start the same. But sometimes I think outside the box a little bit on ways I want to do my lists, and I might bring in outside things to kind of spice them up a little bit. This time, not happening. So, and they don't all have to be like super decorative, right? A lot of times you just want to make a list, even if it's a to-do list. And if you find that you have lots of product that you're not using, well, start putting things in your to-do list, even if they're cute. I had over here, last week, we did right here, holiday bucket list. Maybe you have a holiday to-do list. Go ahead and put it in your traveler's notebook. Even if it's your to-do list, it's still kind of part of your holidays, and it's something that I think people would very much like to look at, right? At one point, you know, when you're older, or maybe you're older now, someone in your family might want to, you know what your favorite traditions are, or what your favorite movies were, or something like that. All right, so favorite holiday traditions. I need to hang on one second. Where is, all right. So I have used before the Carrie Bradford printables. I have used her autumn ones. I've used her summer ones. She is a good friend of mine, and she does amazing work. She does the stamps too. You guys know that. Well, you may know that. I was just looking to see if she had any little strips here that had said something about traditions, but I don't see anything. So, but I do think what I'm going to do is, I like this little guy, that holiday moment, having a merry time. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to use that at the bottom of my list. I know the Christmas lists are fun. They are fun, especially the last one we're doing. There's something that I had read recently or heard someone say recently, and it never really resonated with me. I mean, it did, but then not really until I sat down to do my list ahead of time on what the favorite presents were, or best gifts or whatever, and I'll kind of explain that to you when we get there. But it was a big eye-opener for me. Okay. The printables. Printables are awesome. I've linked, oh, you know what? I linked the autumn one, but I didn't link the Christmas one. But that you'll just be able to find on her website. If you follow the autumn one, you can find the Christmas one. Their printables are awesome, and I actually am using printables in the next list as well, but different printables, because you buy them once and then you can print them out as many times as you want. I have in the description of the video, I have linked to the white cardstock that I use when I print my printables, or when I print printables. It's just an 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I purchased white from Amazon. But it's what I like. So lots of times you want to know what that is, and so I link to it. All right, this little guy is going to go down here. but that's a lot of black and white. So I need a little color. I need a little, you know that song? I need a little Christmas, right this very, yeah. I am not a singer at all. You guys are like, really? I never would have guessed that. I think this little guy, this is one of my favorites. I think it's called Evergreen, maybe? I don't know. It's on my website. If you look under the Christmas link, you'll see it. But it's so cute. I love it with those little greenery and the little berries. And then we need just a little bit of red in there. All right, so you guys, super simple list, right? I mean, look at a little bit of washi and a sticker or two or a die cut, and we're off and running, right? And this is going to be a simple one. So this is favorite holiday traditions. Now you could do, you really could do probably pages and pages of a list like this, depending on your family or friends or whatever it is, if you have lots of holiday traditions. Now here I didn't write favorite because, well, it's kind of obvious, right? Sometimes I write favorite, but then there's lots of favorite lists. So then if I just don't write a favorite, then it's okay. Here I am going to, I feel like I need to just make a little separator here. A little separator line. And you can see the difference here. Separator line, no separator line, right? If I'm going to write my title and then also write my list, having a separator line, like if I had a separator line here, it would have really helped. I can still add one, but my title is just kind of running then into my list. So that little separator line will really help. All right, holiday traditions. Now, I am so sad. I found the coolest little stamps that were supposed to arrive yesterday, and they did not arrive yesterday, darn FedEx. Just so you know, if you don't already know, that all of the mail services are a wreck right now. They are, and I can only imagine, right? I mean, can you imagine the volume of mail that is happening right now? It's always busy anyway around this time of year, but with COVID too, so many people are doing all of their shopping online. That FedEx, UPS, the post office, things are just delayed upon delay upon delay. So I will have the really cool new little stamps that I promise you're gonna love. They're little tiny guys. A lot of times I use little bullets, right? When I say bullets, I mean like that. There are my numbers for my list. That was a stamp. Sometimes I use hearts. Sometimes hearts. I end up using hearts a lot. Sometimes I just use squares or little circle stickers like that. But these little stamps are teeny and they're little Christmas icons, and they're going to be awesome for bulleting. So I will have them hopefully on Monday. And I ordered, obviously for me, but also for the store, for my website. So they will be there hopefully on Monday. So what I thought I would do, those are little heart stickers, but I really need a good red. And those are too big, I think. I have another. I could use those little gold ones, maybe, those gold hearts. I'm just going over here through my little container of hearts. Sometimes organizing is half the fun, right? My little container of hearts. Well, you know, when you want hearts, you want to know where to go to find your hearts. Because I think that's not quite the color. It's pink. It's too pink. I actually had some other hearts out. All right, I'm just gonna move for a second. I had some other little red hearts out last night when I was doing my December daily. So I'm just going to see really quick. Oh, that would work too. Maybe this will work instead. I'm still here. I'm just across the room for a second while I'm looking. So bear with me for a second, friends. All right, let's just do this since I can't find the hearts. I have no hearts. We'll go with these. Instead of hearts, I'm going to use stars. So I think that these little stars will work. And I think I have enough of the small size stars. So let's go with that. Okay, so good, Kelly, look at, while I was across the room, Kelly's like, how about stars? So Mari, I'm sure I've asked you before how to pronounce your name. So if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. What about the centers of the reinforcements? So what Mari is saying, this is the Tabs sticker tablet. And in the Tabs sticker tablet, you have whole reinforcer stickers. So you have these. And I call these the donuts and the donut holes. So the donuts are the outsides, right? And you can see what I've done with the donut holes. The donut holes are the insides. So that is what Mari was suggesting, that I could use these insides. So I could use that as my little, my little bullets too. I have Mary like fairy. Okay, love it. I understand that because I was used to say Lael like Gail. I would say Gail with an L. Anyhow. But I think I'm going to do the stars. I also have some fun new stickers that you guys are going to love. They're just all of those little things on a roll. All of just the little inside donut holes for our bullets. So those will come maybe next week too. I have them. I just haven't had a chance to put them up on the website yet. All right. So let's go ahead and do our stars. I think I better start right there because if I start up there, actually what I can do is I will put the star between two lines because I'm pretty sure that all of these are going to have to be a two-line holiday tradition. I'm Sicilian, so you can call me anything. That's funny. Okay, so favorite holiday traditions. Now these would be Christmas-related holidays for me, but really you could do one that's any holidays. Although I think we tend to have more traditions that we have around the holidays, around Christmas, versus maybe some other holidays, at least in our house for sure. One is opening up one present on Christmas Eve. And what is it? Pajamas. Now, I think unknowingly, last year was probably, I don't even know if we did it last year. The older that you get, the older that your kids get, that you kind of don't start doing so much anymore because your kids don't necessarily wear pajamas to bed, especially when you have boys. They wear sweatpants or t-shirts or just their boxers or, whatever. So now that Sam also has, moved with his friends, I'm sure we'll still be together for Christmas Eve, but I think I haven't bought any pajamas yet this year, so we're probably not doing pajamas. Hi, Denise. Welcome. I know pajamas are a must. Even what I started doing was trying to buy like the flannel pajama pants that they could use as lounge pants, and then like a fun kind of kitschy t-shirt like a Scrooge t-shirt or something, a quote from Christmas Vacation or something like that. There's some really funny ones out there with that. One of the things that we've kind of talked about when we were doing the movie favorite holiday movie list was that it could be kind of fun to do Christmas quotes, like quotes from movies. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite Christmas movies, and oh my gosh, there's so many good quotes from that movie. Oh, so many good quotes from that movie. All right, so Christmas Eve pajamas. The next one would be going snowshoeing sometimes on Christmas Eve day. I have a question, you guys. So And I think this may be a part of the country thing. What do you call the day before Christmas Eve? It's not a joke, or I guess maybe it's kind of a riddle. I don't know. What do you call the day before Christmas Eve? I had never heard this until Jack, our oldest son, was in high school, and there was a dance or something. I guess it was the day before Christmas Eve. Maybe, I don't know what it was. Christmas Adam. That's what they called it, Christmas Adam, because, well, they said, well, in the Adam comes before Eve, so Christmas Eve, Christmas Adam, which I thought was so interesting. Kylie, I'm not going to get offended. I know you were. That's just rude. I'm the youngest at 47. We all still do Christmas jammies, all 32 of us, parents, kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. I love that. I love that you guys still do that. That is so fun. Probably why it's kind of, for now, falling out of tradition at our house is because our older son lives in Washington State, and Sam just moved out. And so really it's Nick and I. Now, I'm sure Christmas Eve, well, I don't know. So it's just different now. When everybody is back together, and maybe when we have grandkids, if we have grandkids one day, I think it's totally going to come back. Totally going to come back into play, because this goes all the way back to when I was a little kid. That was one of our Christmas traditions as well when I was a little kid. All right, next one, crab dinner. Let's see, do the jammies. I know, I'll just get jammies for me and Nick. Mary. Now you can both run around naked. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Too funny. Nick's skiing, or he'd probably really get a kick out of that. Golf. Normally Nick golfs on Saturdays, but it's winter. He tried to go yesterday, and apparently that was really bad. He came home like a frozen popsicle. So I think golfing is done now. So now he's on to skiing. All right. So probably within, I don't know, maybe the last 5 years. Let's see. I'm going to write it this way. Within the past 5 years. So it's a newer tradition. We make a crab dinner on Christmas Eve. So when we're going out and doing the snowshoeing, we go snowshoe, and we live right at the base of the mountains. So to go snowshoeing, it's maybe like a 15-minute drive, so it's not far. We go snowshoe, come home, crab dinner, Caesar salad, sourdough bread, Chardonnay, and it's just kind of been a fun little tradition. Until last year, Sam's like, so I really don't like seafood. And we're like, wait a minute, what? Because he had said, Mom, can't we have like surf and turf? I'm like, Sam, no, we're going to have crab, because the next night is another tradition that I'll talk about and list. So last year he's like, I really don't like crab. Oh, sorry. So that was kind of, the things you learn, right? The things you learn. I'm like, sweetie, why didn't you say something? Well, I didn't want to. Okay. All right, next one is making. Okay, now just let me write this out, because it's going to sound really weird when I write the next word. And the only reason it's going to sound weird is it makes me think of the Newlywed Game, because they always call this making whoopee. Now, this is not making whoopee. So just let me keep writing. Making whoopee cookies. Making whoopee cookies. Okay, that's really important. Making whoopee cookies with Jack and Sam. So really good. You use a devil's food cake. What is that? Oh my gosh. What is that? Guys, help me. The devil's food cake. Pie mix. Oh my heavens. Cake mix. What is it? Anyway, whatever that is, you make whoopee cookies. Yeah, you make whoopee cookies. You know what? I will. I'm going to post it. I will post it on I'll post it on my blog. Devil's food cake. Thank you, Tracy. Gosh, that was funny. I couldn't think of it. I have to have a sip of iced tea. Devil's food cake. Okay. Right. You take that and you make little cookies kind of out of that. And then you make a cream cheese frosting and it goes in the center. So you make like a cookie sandwich and that goes, but the cookies are like squishy and kind of airy because it's made out of cake mix. And then something that I added, I put some peppermint extract in the cream cheese frosting and crushed up candy canes. And those are in the center of that little sandwich. Oh my gosh, like the best cookies you've ever tasted. So I will for sure share that. Make Jack and Sam. So darn good. And that we have done probably, I don't know, the last probably 10 years maybe. Now I did say to Sam as he was leaving yesterday, now Sam, you have to make sure to come back so we can make the whoopie cookies. He's like, oh, I will. He's like, I will do that for sure. All right, so that one, let's see. Crab dinner, whoopie cookies. So let's see. Sub for Santa or angel tree or adopt a family or the food bank. All right, so we always try to do something like that every year where we are doing something charitable, whether we are doing a sub for Santa for someone, an angel tree, picking a name off an angel tree and doing gifts, adopting a family, which we've done in the past, or donating to the food bank. So something that is part of our holiday tradition. We have a young man that through a neighbor's kind of has taken this on this year. And we have a neighborhood Facebook group, and she said, hey, this is what we're doing. And there are a number of kids that need Christmas and anyone would like to participate. So I reached out to her, and we have a 17-year-old boy that we are doing. We don't know anything about him other than he's 17. So that's kind of fun. That'll be neat to do. And Sam said he would help me with that. I'm like, Sam, I really might need help with that because he's a lot closer to a 17-year-old boy than I am. All right. So let's see. The next one, we always do a prime rib dinner on Christmas with all the sides for 20 plus people. We've done this a long time. I want to say probably about 15 years. So my husband's an excellent cook. Nick does all the cooking in our house. I don't cook. Well, I cook a little bit, but not things that you could really eat. Like I make the mayonnaise. When we have artichokes, I make the special mayonnaise. When we want Caesar salad, I make the Caesar salad dressing. So really not things that you could really eat. There are some things I make, but not really. So Nick does all the cooking. Our older son, Jack, is an excellent cook too. He was, before coronavirus, going to culinary school and working at a restaurant. Cooking runs in my side of the family. Well, runs in our family, but not with me. That gene skipped me clearly, loud and clear. But Nick loves to cook, and he does the prime rib and all the fixings, and we have a sit-down dinner with china and everything for 20 to 25 people. That will not be happening this year. We toyed with, do we do a drive-by thing, like curbside pickup, where we do it all, and then everybody just comes and picks it up, and it is like 2 days worth of work. We're like, yeah, not going to happen. Scrappy Matilda. Did I just figure out that Matilda's the granddaughter? Was that the Matilda that I missed before? Anyhow, Matilda said it's almost midnight here in Sweden, so time for bed. Thanks for joining us, Matilda. Have a good evening. Okay. So let's see. I need another star. Yes, that's always a huge production. Holiday traditions. What else do I have on my list? Oh, yes. So, and this is not a current one. This is something that we did with Nick's family. Nick has a huge family. His dad was one of like 13 kids. So we would go to his Aunt Mary's, on Christmas Eve and see Santa for presents. So, because the real Santa was far too busy on Christmas Eve to visit our holiday party, one of the uncles would dress up as Santa. So the real Santa was busy. So one of the uncles would dress up as Santa and hand out presents to all of the little nieces and nephews, our kids and other kids. So that was kind of fun. I have to be very careful there. I never know what little ears might be listening. So I just have to try to be careful. I mean, not ears in my house, but just maybe ears in your house. All right. So let's see. I was trying to think, and this is interesting. Most of these were our current family traditions. And then I was in between classes today, talking to Nick, and I'm like, ooh, Nick, what are some of our holiday traditions? And he went through all these, and then he said, oh, what about going to Aunt Mary's? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So what I am missing here, and I need to talk to my mom, because I would love to incorporate a holiday tradition that I am not remembering, possibly, from when I was a kid. So I'm going to leave that last one and talk to my mom. So the last thing I want to do, though, before we wrap up, I need to date this. So I will pull out one of my, I'll pull out the one we always use. One of my date stamps. This is by far, this is probably, well, no, that's not true. Between this stamp and the, okay, it's the 5th. Between this stamp and the listed stamps with the clipboard, these are the two of the biggest sellers on my website. They're just so fun. And this is a great date stamp because, let me grab my ink and we'll just do this right here. Always have to test it first because you want to make sure, number one, that you put the right date on there, 12/5/20. That's good. That's the right date. Sometimes I want to make sure it's lined up. But then this one I've used, there's two little hearts in between those dates. So there's hearts, there's stars, there's arrows, not stars. Oh yeah, stars. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. Let's get the stars in there. That would be cute. Let's try it. I always use the hearts. There's little arrows. There's all kinds of little things in between there. That's interesting. I've used one star. How do I use that star but not that star? I'm not sure. Cute. Okay, look at it. I can't believe I've never used those stars before. Isn't that cute? Those little stars in between the dates. So that's perfect for what I've done here. Now I just need to decide where I want to date that. So down here or right here? This is what I'm going to do. Here's a little trick if you're not sure. I'm going to cut that out and see where it looks good. Where I like it. I just cut upside down, so that was weird. All right, do I like it right there? No. Do I like it right there? So here's the thing, if I put it right there, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think I am going to stamp this again, but I am going to put it, I think, right there. but use it that way, because if I stamp over the line, then it's kind of going to get in the way. So I need a little piece of, oh, look at here, a little piece of cardstock. I want something that's a little bit heavier. So that is left over when I cut out that little holiday moment. This is also a great way to fix something. If you stamp something and it gets blurry or something and it's not really working, you can come in and, like, if I had stamped, well, we know this has happened before, you guys, right? In the live, sometimes every once in a while, it just doesn't do what you want it to do. So this is also a way to cover up a boo-boo. If I were to stamp this directly on the book and it, for some reason, only stamped partially or it was blurry or something, I could just restamp it again on a piece of cardstock, like I am here. And come in and put it right there. So that's just going to go right down there. And then I'll fill in that. So easy list, right? Easy list. Pretty quick. It didn't have a lot going on with it. I used a little bit of washi and a few die cuts, but I could use washi or die cuts or stickers or doesn't even have to be anything. I think sometimes it's just fun to make a list of these things. This would be a fun thing to do if you have elderly parents, maybe. Well, they don't have to be elderly. You could ask your parents, hey, what are some of our holiday traditions? And as they're telling you, you could make a list, or you could ask them to make a list. I think it's really important to get the voice of other people sometimes in what we're doing. Like I said, I need to go back to my mom and ask her about what was one of the holiday traditions when I was a kid that I can't remember. So getting other people's voice in your lists, or having other people do lists, to help you remember things is kind of a good thing. This time of year, this could be a really fun activity to do during the holidays. If you have a family around and you're not really getting out much, sit down and do lists. Favorite movies, favorite holiday traditions. You could do the lists that we've done. What's on your holiday bucket list? We did a fun one last week of this or that. Real tree or fake tree, Hallmark or Netflix, and we just kind of did some things like that. So I think those are kind of a fun thing to do as a group activity. Let's see. Well, she stamps wrong. Epic fix for those errors, for sure. Yeah, right. I know, and she is amazing. So, and I don't know, Heba, I know who she is. I don't personally know her, but she does some amazing things in Traveler's Notebook. So Karen has listed her name there. And if you search, I know she's on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram. So if you search for her, you'll find some really cool things that she's done. All right, last but not least, our third list. So Mary, now I'm just seeing this. There's also some great bakeries in Brooklyn. That sounds to me like the biggest squirrel ever. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Bakeries, huh? What? Okay, so there we go. There's our traditions list. Our last list for today is best gifts. And your best gifts could be given or received, or it could be a mixture of both, right? It could be a mixture of both. Let's see what we're saying here. Oh, Kylie, I love that. We did that last year with my parents. Thankful because we lost my dad in April to cancer. I'm so sorry. But that is, that's another reason why you do some of these things, because our family won't always be around, or our friends may not always be around. So you can do some of these things now when they are around. It's a good thing. Your mom used to buy the raspberry-filled candies this time of year. See, that's cool. Those little things. Go back and ask your brothers and sisters if you have them. What do you remember about Christmas? This last one, I think, is definitely one that you would do that for, because it's one I need to do that for. Absolutely. This one is favorite gifts. So, what I had done, I pulled both of these out. My voice. This has been, now let's see, we did, what time did we start? We started at 2, okay, we're almost 2 hours into this one. And I did 3.5 hours of teaching this morning. So my voice is starting, I can already hear it. It's starting to go a little bit. I have talked about before, you guys, in a creative bubble, and Geraldine. I don't personally know her, But I love her products, and she does printables, and I use them all of the time in my traveler's notebooks. So I have used, this is what I do. I just buy them, and then I just print them all out, and I print them out so that I have them, and I just have them to pull from. I have linked to the ones that I am using in the description of the video down below. She's another small business, so I always like to support the small businesses. But the one that these that I'm using here, these are from the Comfort and Joy Traveler's Notebook Papers, and I have linked to these in the description of the video as well. And let's see, that's one, that was, I think, on the same page. Oh my gosh, this was one. Isn't that December calendar so cool? Karen, this reminds me of one that you would use if you're doing, because I know you did a fall traveler's notebook, but this could kind of be a cool December traveler's notebook. Any of you that are doing December daily in a traveler's notebook, that would be really awesome too. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pop that into my December daily anyway, even though I'm not doing it in a traveler's notebook. Look how fun. Good cheer found here. Photos, and then she even does 3x4 and 4x6 cards. These are different, not the Traveler's Notebook ones, but even these little guys, just love them. Anyhow, so I thought, I pulled both of these out, but I don't remember why I pulled Oh What Fun out. I'm not using Oh What Fun, because this is a 2-page list, and I'm using that side. I'm using Merry Everything. One thing to be aware of, when Geraldine designs these printables, she designs for a standard size traveler's notebook, and I use standard wide. And depending on if you've bought traveler's notebook inserts from me, depending on which ones you bought, you may have bought standard or standard wide. So standard is 8.25 tall. Standard wide is also the same. It's just the width that differs. The width of the standard wides is 5, and the width of a regular standard is about 4.33. So they are narrower than my traveler's notebook inserts. But that's okay, because I still want to use them. So generally what I do on this one, I think what I'll do is I will come in with a piece of pattern paper here, and probably also here, just to back that. So I have pulled out some pattern paper from the Simple Vintage North Pole paper pad. That is here. This is, and even if you're not into vintage, this is what I used as the base for my entire December daily. It's really cool, kind of like kitschy vintage. So look how cute. Like, look at the Santa with this little winking eye. And I love the light blue that's in here. That's gorgeous. Anyhow, not only are there some great little icons and things, but there's just really good neutral like patterns to use for Christmas, like those little trees, the stripe. Anyhow, lots of good options there. And I've linked to that in the description of the video. These are 5 that I just pulled out because I thought in some way or another that I would use those. Let's see. So a bunch of questions just came up. Let me double check. I see Jackie. Jackie. So actually, while I see Jackie, the printer, the Epson PictureMate printer. I talked about that again last week because I always check before we jump on. Last week it was at $199 and then it shot up, oh my gosh, like $4.99 this week. And it just shot back down again. I looked this morning, I think, or yesterday, and let Jackie know because she was looking. So it's back at $199 on Amazon. And I link that in the description of the video because that's one of my workhorses. Let's see. Angie, it's not the Oh What Fun printable. So Oh What Fun, those were this one, sorry. In the description of the video, I have linked to this set of printables. The set of printables is called the Comfort and Joy Traveler's Notebook papers. So there are a number of them that come in that set. So just look when we're done in the description of the video and you'll find it because I link right to it. Let's see. Terry, Lael, what do you print them on? I print them on white cardstock that I buy from Amazon. I also have that listed in the description of the video. And that's usually why I use 8.5 by 11 cardstock because I'm doing either printables from Carrie Bradford or printables from In a Creative Bubble. So I have those linked down below. Sheila said, when will your winter TN for January, February be available to order? So my winter traveler's notebook kit will be available to order probably, I have all the product ordered. I just need to put the samples together. So probably, let's shoot for sometime next week, Sheila. Okay, sometime next week. So watch for the email. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you're signed up for my emails because that's always a super popular kit. Has anyone ever found cardstock sticker paper? Terry, I haven't seen cardstock sticker paper, but I have seen regular sticker paper. Patty, what is the name of the Epson app used to do the multiple photos? That is the Epson Creative Print. Creative Print. I think it's Creative Print. It is free and you'll find it in the App Store, whether you do Android or Apple. Epson Creative, or maybe it's Creative Photo Print, Epson Creative Print, it's something like that. Let's see. Epson Creative Print, there we go, good. All right, I'm pretty sure, Angie, now I bought a lot of them over the holiday, I mean, over Black Friday, but I'm pretty sure it was part of that bundle. Mary Lee, what paper do I use? So the paper that I use is an 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I have linked to in the description of the video. I get it off of Amazon. It's, I think, 100 sheets, 250 sheets, I don't remember, but it's maybe like $12. So definitely worth getting just the whole pack because I use it not only when I do my printables, but sometimes I also use it if I just need to, you know, have a white base and I just cut it out and put it on my white base as well. All right, lots of questions there. So we took a little break and answered some questions. Sometimes I don't always see the questions, so I'm glad that actually it was awesome because they were all there grouped together right there for me. So the papers from that Simple Vintage North Pole. And this is what, I mean, those are just good, solid, super neutral work for really any kind of Christmas that you're documenting, even if you're not using some of the other products from Simple Vintage North Pole. I just thought those were awesome. So let's see. I know we want to do something over here. So that could work. But then I think I also want to do something over here. That could work. And then, all right, so as much as I love that paper, I don't think that is going to work here. The reason I don't think it's going to work is because I would then take one of my white pieces of cardstock that we were talking about earlier. I would trim that down and put it here. And if I did that, I would want it to be pretty much the same size as this one. Because if they're side by side, I think it would look weird if that one was smaller. And if it was this size, look what would happen. If I put that on there, you would totally lose the Santas. Like you'd see like half a Santa. You'd not really see the Santas at all. Excuse me. You'd not really see the Santas at all. So that would be totally lost. So I won't do that. I'll use that on something else for sure. So if that goes there, I could do a polka dot here, maybe. I could do that here. This could be cute. Now, let's try something. Let's just try. Because sometimes we have to experiment, right? We have to experiment. This is, oh God. This is the white cardstock that I use when I'm printing the printables, and then also when I need a base to like do my list on, if I'm doing it on top of pattern paper. But something else just fell out that I use all the time. I might want to use, I think I'm going to use this, and that is just a graph paper. I think I'm going to use that. because it just has a little bit more going on to it with it. So normally, if I were to use this, my inserts are 8.25 tall by 5 inches wide. This is 6 by 8, so it's already a 1/4 inch shorter. So if I trim this to 4.75, that would give me a 1/4 inch border all the way around, like so. I didn't quite get that right. All right, and then I would do the same thing with this one. I love this. It just reminds me of, I don't know, it's just like a kind of like a kitschy. I guess kitschy is kind of the word for it. It's a snowflake, but it's just kind of cool. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm not thinking. Sometimes when I'm just, it's like when you get in the car to drive to the store and you get to the store and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I get here? Right? That's what I was just doing. I was in autopilot. So then this will go right there and it's got a nice border around it. So that works. I need to grab my corner rounder out of my drawer. I started getting so many questions about these corner rounders that I use. So I now carry them on my website and they are linked in the description. They're in a package of 2. So the difference between the two, that is a 1 inch round. I don't know how they figure that's 1 inch, but 1 inch round, and then there's a 1/2 inch round. So there we go. Mary said, I collect snowflakes, so it always looks like winter around here. There you go. You had to shop sells cardstock stickers. Interesting. I'm learning. Sometimes I learn all these things when you guys. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at the back side of that too. The back side is super cute. That's the nice thing about the 6 by 8 pads too, you guys, that Simple Stories does. They do 2 sheets each of 12 different papers. So that means I don't have to be sad about covering up that poor Santa because I have another sheet in my pad. All right, there we go. Now this will go on here, and I'm not going, so I know it might look weird, I'm not going to round the corners. I did that once before and I hated the way it looked. So just one corner gets rounded. I mean, just one piece, one base. Where did it go? Oh, it's over here. All right, those will be cute. Those will be cute together. So, remember earlier when I said it is so hard, I think that was here, so hard to find a good green in any Christmas products? Like, look, that's not a good green. That's not like green. And this isn't a good green. That's not like green. Not like green. I didn't say light green. It's hard. If I was a manufacturer, I would make a good green that would go in all of the scrapbook collections for Christmas. When you're looking at scrapbook product and you're looking at Christmas, next time you look at it, do a double take because there is a predominant amount of red. There's not very much green, like good green to work with, which I think is just so weird. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. Okay, so now I need to measure this one. This is 4 1/4 by 7 10/16. If I want that to be about the same, let's do 4 1/4 and 7 10/16. That's far too much math to do in this. Oh, it's not quite right. All right, so now this is the dilemma. That cute candy cane paper, and the same thing is happening. That was going to happen with the Santa paper. Same reason I didn't use the Santa paper. I lose all the candy canes. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this bottom off. All right. So now that is shorter, and I can see a little bit more of that pattern. I think I might make it a little bit more narrow too. So that is 4 1/4. So if I do 1/8 off of that side and flip it and do 1/8 off of that side. All right, then that will be nice there. So now I need to do the same thing. And this is just easier. Love the idea of printables, but how much is it to print all that color? So Nancy, here's what I would suggest. I actually lease. I'm not suggesting you do this, so bear with me. I lease a extremely expensive laser printer because I do, for all of my scrapbook kits, I include instructions, printed color instructions with them, and I print thousands and thousands and thousands of sheets of color. And so it is definitely makes more sense for me to lease than to do all my printing elsewhere. So I print all of mine on that laser printer. If I was printing all of the printables, I would take them to like a FedEx Kinko's. It is going to be far less expensive for you to do that. And you can even take your own paper. I've done that. I've taken my own paper in the past, my own cardstock, and go to FedEx Kinko's or Staples or whatever, and you can print those out. Basically, you would just take that and save to Jump Drive. And you can even actually upload to, those places. And then, have them print. But if you upload, I would put clear instructions that you want to use your own paper. Or you could use their paper. I just talked to them about what kind of cardstock that they have. But yeah, especially on some of these, some of them have a lot of color to them. Then you could, be using a lot of ink. So that's what I would do. I would just upload. Golly, that's crooked. And if you guys have any tips too, if you found a way that you do that, let's see. Oh my gosh, look at all these ideas. Colleen, so that's good to know. Apparently I bought more than one set. The Oh What Fun printable is in the Remember December Traveler's Notebook papers. All right, this one is from the one I linked. Karen, you just went over to Celestial Seasonings website and create a list for my winter tea and insert of all the teas I love. Oh, that's cool. So your favorite teas, your favorite nail polish colors, you can make lists about anything. Outside of Christmas, we tend to get a lot more generic in terms of what we're listing, like when I was a kid and things like that. But the holidays, there's so many great lists to do. Karen said, my HP Instant Ink program, I get like 300 pages per month for like $12. So, Karen, that's interesting. If anyone has an HP printer, maybe Google that because that's a really good price. Costco and Staples, yes, for sure. Yeah, they all use that same off green. I know, Kathy, they do, right? They all use that same off green, and I'm like, hello, use a good green. I just have to show you guys this. I'm totally squirreling now, but this is my December daily that I'm working on. And this was the one for today. This right here is like such a good Christmas green. Anyone, I would say, okay, if you're a scrapbook manufacturer, look at Pantone 7726. That is the good Christmas green color, right? That is the Christmas green that we want. That's the one we want. Give us a really good, bright, Christmas green. That is just so good, that color, even though it might be a little bit hard to see because of the color on. Is that better? Right? See, isn't that a good Christmas screen? Give us a good green, people. Don't use the muddy greens or the really weird greens. Give us a good green. We want a good green. We need to start a petition for a good green. All these people that make the scrapbook products, right? All right. And actually, what's interesting, I've worked for 3 different scrapbook manufacturers over the years. Scenic Route Paper Company years ago, Basic Gray years ago, and then most recently Simple Stories for 6 years. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys get a freaking good green in your Christmas collections. And I don't know why they don't, but they don't. So we'll just have to keep hoping and wishing, right? All right, so there we go. There's the start of my list, and a lot of rambling. Lots of rambling. Okay, let's do, for my outlining, I know we always have some new people that join. So let me, as I'm just doing my outlining, explain what I'm doing. I'm outlining. That sounds funny. This is something that I have done, I don't know, for the last 15 or 18 years as I've been scrapbooking, crafting, what have you. It just, to me, it needed a little something. It needed a little something to balance it out and to really tie it all together and finish it. And so that's what I do. I outline. I use a fine tip Sharpie. So many questions about that one always. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start carrying Sharpies on my website. So I have those now on my website if you want to know which one I use. But I outline everything. And you even saw me doing my outlining here on these other pages, and I wasn't even talking about what I was doing. But so let's see. This is, now I'm forgetting even what our list is. Best gifts. Okay, so I need to figure out how to title this. I'm totally just now not thinking about the title. I got distracted by all these cute things, right? These, that little guy in particular is from the Wishmas, Fancy Pants. Cute, but there's our Santa. So, there's some really cute things in there, but I think I was going to try to see if there's a little present in there. I mean, I don't have to take things like super literal, but there's no present. That's okay. But Santa could be cute there. And he's kind of a fun, he's like a hip looking Santa. I don't know why. He just looks kind of hip to me. Actually, I should put these up here. I have linked these as well. There's just some good, fun, what was I looking for? I saw something in there that I thought, oh, that could be fun. What's kind of fun too is, and I think a lot of manufacturers do this, sometimes they'll mix like Christmas and winter together. So you see, things that could work beyond like that, all bundled up, things that could work beyond Christmas too. Can't really just do a bow hanging out there. That bit bow, the scale of that bow is giant. That won't work under Santa. But what did I see on the back of that package that I thought, oh, that could be cute? It was some greenery, I think. Cute little flower. You see, I'm way down here. I shouldn't be down there. I'm off the table. Well, I'm not off the table, but I'm out of view. All right, so we'll find something in there. But I think I like the Santa. Since Santa brings presents. That's cute too, that little thing that we couldn't use before because the red was off. So many good lists. Christmas lists, right? If you are, I won't put a Christmas list in one of the lists that we do this December, but you could totally do a Christmas list. These are gifts that you want. Gifts that you want. These are gifts that you need to buy people. These are gifts that you've already bought. These are just all the gifts, and you have some that you bought. And so, why am I picking those up one by one? Oh, let's see, Terry, lots of presents in the Simple Stories collections. Okay, so if I can find a present in, I think like this, I'll find presents in Jingle All the Way. But Jingle All the Way, yeah, see, this is what I was afraid of. Jingle All the Way, super cute collection. But the reds and the greens are totally not work with what I have going here because they are super bright. So there are, right, you're right, Terry, there's some cute presents, but way too muted. So that one won't work. We'll just go sans present. No presents. No presents. Our presents will not have a presence in this spread. It's sun. Well, sun's going down. I guess it's not quite getting dark, but the sun is going down. All right, so Santa. Santa will be cute. Now, because I'm me, that's what I have to do. More outlining. And that actually kind of ties in with the lines that we have already going on over here. Santa. So what my idea was, I was going to do some writing right here, a little bit of journaling about gifts and something that I learned today. And then do some of those gift memories here. So I think I'll leave it at this, and then I'm going to do my journaling. So as I was sitting down in between my last class and this little session, I already had a few things on the list, and I'm like, gosh, you know what? I couldn't think of any. Like, I don't remember like really special gifts that really stood out that I received. And then I remembered a few things of things that we had done for the boys, and I asked my husband, and he brought up something he brought up something, and then I called Sam, tried to get Jack, couldn't get him, called Sam, and Sam came back with something very similar. So I noticed a pattern, what I had on my list and what I heard from Nick and what I heard from Sam. The things that we all remembered in terms of the gifts, and none of them were ones I had received. They were all gifts that I had given, had to do with experiences and memories and not physical presence, really. So I read something about that the other day, that somebody had said, you know what, in 10 years from now, you're not going to remember the present that was under the tree. You're going to remember how you felt or the experience or something to that effect. So, and I probably won't do my journaling about that right now because you guys don't need to just sit here and watch me write that. But that is basically what that part is going to be about. That as I sat down to write this list and asked other, my family, this is kind of the pattern that I noticed that was kind of coming out. So what I have over here, this is going to be a pretty short list. I have 3 things, and then I need to talk to Jack because I could not get Jack ahead of time. And so I want to ask him. He's our oldest son. I'm just checking to see. Oh, look at Terry, you're good. She's like, what about the Winter Farmhouse collection? Isn't that a presents die cut just above your 2? And you know what? Oh yes, right, over here, right? Except I think things got all moved around. Yes, this one is a presents one. So this guy could go there, but the light blue in that, was that Barbara? The pink and blue one, is that right? Yes. Now, I had that out for that reason. But that was before I was going to, use that. So now that one won't work. So it's okay. It doesn't need to have a present. We'll just have Santa. So I just came up with a title. Okay. I think I'm going to call this Memorable Gifts, because for gifts, I want to use some letter stickers instead of just write that title. And so actually, I won't even call it memorable. I'm just going to write gifts, because over here, I'll kind of explain that a little bit more. But gifts, then that will do. So I am going to go to black because we have black over here. I'm going to add black there. And I think, except I don't know that there's black in here. So let's just look. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. I'm going to pull out two things. I'm going to end up stepping on something on the floor. So I might need this one too. Pulling out those two. Those two, well, the three that I have out are sticker books from scrapbook.com. And I love these sticker books because word strips, we know how much I love my word strips, right? I use word strips quite a bit. They're labels. And then there are a number of different fonts for alphas. So what I'm looking for though is black, and I don't think there's black in here. So these have the green, the light green. See, that's a good green, right? They get it. That's a good green. Green, light green, silver, red, pink, white. All right, so then I'll go to this one. That's the black that I want. So this one, this was a Peppermint Christmas. That's the name of that one. I've linked to those in the description of the video. And this one is black, white, and gold. So I'm going to use the black, and I'm using the lowercase. So G-I-F-T-S. I'm good. Okay, let's get the G here. So Santa, maybe Santa goes about there. And I'm not going to put that down all the way because I didn't measure. Because I'm clearly, actually I need to start with the F in the center. Because the F is tall, right? That needs to be my center point. G-I-F-T-S. So if we start here, see what would have just happened? I would have had to replace that because it would have been too high. It would have run into Santa's beard. So I need to drop down a bit. Now we'll put the I in next to it. And the G. So Santa can be right there. G-I-F. T. G-I-F-T-S. Sometimes we like things to be literal. Like sometimes we're like, oh yeah, I need a gift sticker, a present sticker. And other times we don't have to do that. I'm totally changing what I'm doing because I don't like that. I don't like how there's a bunch of white space and then that. I don't like that at all. So I'm going to put him over here. And this, he's going to go right there, the G. So I'm totally moving things. And that's okay. Sometimes we just have to work with things a bit, right? And then I'm going to write above that, maybe. The only problem is that F, that silly F is in the way. I'll try something, just see what it looks like if I do this. Now I'm looking because I can't see it well enough, so I'm looking to see what it looks like up there. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Well, that's the way it's going to be. I don't care. Memorable gifts. There we go. It works. It's going to have to work. And then there's Santa. All right, so here's the thing. I have really, 4. I'm going to have 4. 1, 2, 3, because Jack better have a memorable gift, right? He better come up with something. So what I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to try to do is use these little, like that little square right there, as my little bullet. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, but I can't be there. That will be, because I was thinking, if I wanted to have maybe some washi right here. Ooh, yeah, no. All right, so let me show you why that's not going to work. It's not going to work for a couple reasons. Number one, it's really yellow compared to what I have going on here. But the other thing, it really kind of fights with the little candy canes, right? It's just kind of too much going on. So I need something that's more solid. Oh, hi, Nick. I think Nick must be done skiing. He's probably on his way down the canyon. We live at the base of, where we are in Utah, there are 2 ski canyons that are right here. One is called Big Cottonwood Canyon. One is called Little Cottonwood Canyon. We are at the base of one of those canyons. From our doorstep to one of the ski resorts is about 10 minutes maybe. So we are very fortunate to be that close. Maybe this one. I always love this one. But anyhow, he's probably done and probably on his way back down. That is the gold foil scallop. Hello, gold foil scallop. That's on my website. All right, now. Oh, okay. I know what I need. I know what I need for this. So I'm going to step across the room for a minute into kind of on one side of the room. I have all of my listing things I'm using. On the other side of the room, I have the stuff I'm using for my December daily. So it's either this one, I think it's this one maybe, or this one. And I couldn't tell you where these came from ahead of time. I better tell you that. I needed something black that was thinner. So I grabbed 2. Both of these are crepe paper. Now that may be, I don't know, that could work. It's a gold, so there's gold on gold there. And then it says Merry Christmas. So it's kind of Merry everything, Merry Christmas. That could work. And it's kind of a scripty font like that. Or there's this. Oh, I already know. I already know. Already know, no doubt. Peace, love, joy. There we go. Except it's too wide. I don't want it to be that wide. All right. So gold foil and then black. All right. So now I know what I need to do. Uh-oh, I saw that. Wish we had a way to hit a buzzer to get Lael to look at the chat. I know, right? Okay, what did I miss? What did I miss? So Terry, you know what? I can order these. I can order these. So maybe I should start carrying these. And then the refills. Oh, I know he's here. Remember I said, oh, look, he's skiing. He's back from his, at least I think I said that. He's skiing. We live this far away. He's on his way down the canyon, I think, right? Maybe one that makes the squirrel chatter noise. Okay, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I missed something. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to do something. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came to the ladybug picnic. You guys remember that? Who remembers that? Ladybugs from Sesame Street. Remember that one? They used to teach you how to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came to the ladybug picnic. If Nick is still on, well, Nick and I have been married for 25 years. I was going to say he's going to think I'm crazy. He already knows that I'm crazy. I've done a lot of singing. I'm not a singer. I do not have the voice for that. So we talked lots about PBS today, right? Between Zoom and Ladybug Picnic on Sesame Street. Okay. Tape runners. I'll order them, you guys. I will order them. And I probably won't, I know I won't have them this week. And so maybe for next week, I'll remember to talk about them. Yes, Me Over the Big Stores. I love that, Terry. Thank you. Yeah, I would love for you to support Me Over the Big Stores. As long as if you have a local scrapbooking store, those kind of things. And really, I want you guys to shop your local scrapbooking store. That's so important to support local. With that said, if you do not have a local scrapbooking store, then you can support me over the big box, right? Okay. How many times have I counted all of these little squares? Hi, Valerie. Mary, one county wounty, two county wounties. Don't know what that is. Unless you're talking about the count. Who'd go 1, wah ha 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 ha. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, but I can't go to 16. So if I do this, this is just crazy. This should not take this long, Lael. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 in between. 1, 2, 3 in between. There we go, perfect. Then that will let me tell 4 little stories, 4 lists, right? Golly. All right, so what I'm going to do though, I'm going to take advantage of these little grids. And those little grids are going to be my bullets. And oh, I'm so sad that those little stamps aren't here, because they would have been so cute. They'll be cute later. You know, when you're tracking something and it's like, okay, it's going to be there Friday. It's going to be there Friday. It's going to be there Friday. And it still shows it's in Chicago. And I'm like, how's that going to be there Friday? And then yesterday, like last night at 6 o'clock, okay, not going to be there Friday. You're like, really? Because I could have told you that. Anyway, what do you do? It just is what it is, right? It is what it is. All right, then I need to erase those little pencil marks because I don't want those in there. All right, there we go. Let's see, the Count from Sesame Street. We loved him. Anyone watch Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas? Debbie, I've never heard of that. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Debbie, you got trapped in a 60-minute line at Chick-fil-A. Oh my gosh. Chick-fil-A. That's funny. Chick-fil-A. Wow. That's a long time. Usually they're pretty speedy. Let's see. Okay. Mari, I see. Oh, I get it. I mean, Mary, I get it. I gotcha. Okay. Chick-fil-A is where the chicks file, right? Karen, look I clickbaited you. That's hilarious. I clickbaited you. Just drooling over your TN inserts. When you said Sharpies, I started dreaming. Need more Chick-fil-A's in Michigan. Okay, so Marry Everything. Sandy, here's the deal. The Marry Everything. Oh, this guy. The Marry Everything. So this is what I will do. Let me go back because clearly I bought a number of things from In a Creative Bubble. See, and you know what I did? I had already pre-cut them, so I cut off the top that would tell me where they were from. So, Comfort and Joy. If it wasn't in Comfort and Joy, it wouldn't have been in the basics. Holiday Magic, maybe Holiday Magic Elements. I'll find it. Okay, I'll find it and I will link to it. Sorry about that. I don't know where it came from. I mean, I know it came from In a Creative Bubble. I just don't know what set it came from. That's Comfort and Joy, right? Yeah. Really quick, this is going to be a total squirrel moment. But you guys, does that look familiar? Does that look familiar? That should look familiar because I think that's in here. That, look at kind of that same word art, right? That I printed on a little piece of acetate, but I'm going to do the same thing again, but do that with this guy. So instead of printing that on paper, which I already did, I will also do a printout on acetate and then do a little tip in over a photo like that. So I just love it when she does that kind of design because I think it's really fun. It'd also be fun to print that on a vellum and do the same thing. Okay. It's lots of squirreling today, friends. I'll find that, Sandy, and link to it after the fact. Let's see, getting late. Yes, it is getting late. Because, look, I know I always, and I don't feel bad. I should feel bad, but I don't, because I know what it's like to have a different name. People butchered my name, Lael, in my entire life, so I don't let it bother me. So, Lakita or Laquita. I never know how to pronounce the U, and I'm sure you've told me 8,000 times. She is in Germany, so, and I always stumble over your name, so I apologize. You guys are lots of chatties today. Well, inkjet printers print on transparencies in vellum. Okay, Karen, good question. I'm using a laser printer, so maybe Google. Maybe Google it, or you could go to In a Creative Bubble and you could actually ask her. If you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, or just go to her website, she probably has a contact us. I've seen her print on vellum, so you could ask her if she uses an inkjet, and then if it's okay. Robbie, thank you. It's Remember December Traveler's Notebook. So whoever was asking for this guy, and it's also probably the Oh What Fun that I also cut out. It is from the Remember December Traveler's Notebook. Thank you so much for finding that. In a Creative Bubble. You know what? And I would just support any way that you can. Support me, or support In a Creative Bubble, or support Carrie Bradford. You can support really anyone. I think small business is so important to support, right? Tracy said she has inkjet transparencies, but they have a rough side. Oh yes, Karen, thank you. Everybody hit the like button. All right, friends, we are, but that's part of the fun, right? I know a lot of you are here just for the listing, and if you're still here for the listing, you're probably like, okay, I'm done with all this. But I think a lot of us are too for kind of the social and the companionship and just the being together. So when I squirrel and we go way off topic and I am not working on a list for quite a while, we're still all just hanging out. And I love that you guys look and share. I love that you share on what you're finding and where you're finding this and that. And when somebody has a question and I don't know the answer, somebody like Robbie goes and finds the answer, which I just love. I think that's so awesome. Oh, and Jack, there we go. In a Creative Bubble, Remember December. Perfect. All right. So my stories, the three stories, even though there are 4 because I need to talk to Jack. So these are my list. It's just a shorter list because there's just 4 because they're experiences and not necessarily presents, although they are a little bit. Memorable gifts. So first one, we bought Sam so we bought him one of those little toy Jeeps that runs. You know, one of those little it was actually a John Deere truck. But what are they called? One of those little, not a remote control. You know, they have like a battery, and then the kid can get in and like drive it around the circle or whatever. What are those things called? Someone help me. We bought Sam not remote control, no, not Power Wheels, not Tonka, but it's just one of those, you know, they have like the Barbie Corvette or just any electric truck. Electric? We bought Sam I know, right? Motorized, ride-in, battery-powered Jeep, mini car. I know, right? I'm thinking Debbie's therapy is close. Battery-powered Jeep. We bought Sam a battery-powered Jeep when he was 3. And he drove that around the circle for years and years. He loved that thing so much. And so when I thought about, and now granted, that is a gift, that is not an experience, but when I thought about that, that was probably one of my most favorite things that I have ever given, because Sam loved that. That day, it was a motorized kid cart. Power wheels. Okay, Terry, they're called Power Wheels. That day, and there was a lot of snow in our circle. Sam got, well, I helped him get it on. He got his snowsuit on and his boots, and he got in that thing and he powered it through the circle. And I have the best photos. And I turned them all black and white, but I have the best photos of him driving in the circle in this little battery powered Jeep. And he loved that. And then in our neighborhood always had 4th of July parades, and he drove that in the parade, and we always decorated it. But that was one of my favorite gifts, because he just loved that. The next one, and this is what Sam said. This was also on my list. One year, we gave the boys a trip to Hawaii for Christmas. I wrapped up clues and had them go on a scavenger hunt. Now, this is also a story that I told that year in my December daily. So I fully told the story in there. And in fact, I even saved and included the clues in that book that I do, in the book that I did that year. But that was, if you ask the boys, that is the one thing, that's what Sam said. I'm sure Jack would remember too. They remember, and it wasn't so much. So when I asked Sam, he said, "Oh my gosh, that year that you gave us, that we went to Hawaii, but you did the scavenger hunt." So it wasn't the Hawaii part that he really remembered. It was the scavenger hunt. And they had little clues, and they had to go all over the house, and one clue led to the next clue and the next clue. And then finally, it brought them back to a big present, and they opened up the present, and I think there were swim trunks in there, and little Lays that I bought from the party store or whatever. And I think I bought a real pineapple and put it in the box. But that was more that whole experience of their little scavenger hunt, and then going on that family trip that I remembered and that Sam remembered. For Nick said, this was Jack's last year of high school. We gave an early Christmas present, a trip to Mexico over Christmas. And I say that was Jack's last year of high school. We figured that was probably pretty much going to be our last family trip that we would for sure do together. Not knowing, Jack was going away for school, and then, as the boys get older, that trying to get everyone back together to do a trip that we would be able to do. And so that was really memorable. And that just said experiences of all of us being together, maybe for the last family trip that we'll go on. So those are three. Like I said, I need to talk to Jack to see what he remembers. But both of those were not so much about the trip. They were more kind of the experience. Colleen, you did something similar for your youngest brother, a pair of Mickey ears for a trip to Disney World, right? Isn't that fun? But you guys, it was so weird because I literally sat down. I thought this will be really fun, because instantly I thought of the Jeep thing, because that just was such a special memory for me. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, like what other gifts do I remember? What other gifts? And I could not come up with anything. So I thought that was very interesting. That's more about the experiences, us spending time together as a family on trips. And then on that one, what Sam remembered was the scavenger hunt part of that trip. Let's see. You guys are just chatting away. I love that. I just love it. Floating experience. Floating, like floating on a river? Oh, Nicole! She said, OMG, I can't believe this is my first time tuning in. I love it here. Nicole, I love that you love it here. What I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm actually going to, because we're pretty much done with this list. I need to do some journaling here. I'll probably do a little bit more decorating once I add this last thing from Jack. Like it's pretty, plain down here. So I will add something down here for sure. Oh, Nick's back. I'll add something. I don't know what I'll add. I'll figure that out. Careful. This is enter at your own risk, honey. They're not going to be able to see you. Hi. Well, if I flip the camera.
I was here chatting, but you
I know.
didn't see me chatting.
I did.
I chatted to Malcolm.
Oh, yes. I figured that's where you were. Okay, friends. So I'm going to flip the camera here really quick. But I want to just talk to what Nicole's talking about really fast. So bear with me. All right. Hold on, because we're flipping. Oh, I need to unplug first or the flip gets really messy. I need to turn off the lights too because the bright lights not as so attractive. All right, so here we go. We're flipping. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so Nicole, I want to talk about what Nicole was just saying. Hang on. I just had to fix that. It is, you know what? I need to turn on the light. This time of day is really hard in here because the sun is set and it's too bright to have my studio lights on, but then it's too dark otherwise. Oh yes, my cameras, yes. So Nicole, so what Nicole said, she said she loves it here and she's brand new. And I love to hear that because this, a lot of you know, the way this started out, I know, Karen, it's coming to an end. Just for this week though, if you didn't hit the like button already, yes, if you didn't hear the like button already, why not? Please hit it. Anyhow, this started out as I was going to do this for 2 weeks in a row. I thought it was early coronavirus days, and lots of you have heard this story because you were there, but early coronavirus days, March 21st was the first Traveler's Notebook class I did. And that was an intro to Traveler's Notebooks, and that's what I use for my lists. And I know a lot about Traveler's Notebooks. I've used them for probably about 6 years now, and I just love them. And so I thought, I know a lot about this. Maybe I could do a free class because that's when we were all like, oh my gosh, what is happening? The world is coming to an end. That's what we thought back in March. So I did one class and I thought, well, maybe I'll do 2 classes and I'll just put that out there because it could be something fun that would take people's minds off things. Here we are. I really need to count the weeks now because we're this many weeks later and we have not missed a Saturday. Sometimes it's had to be a Friday night. Sometimes it's later on Saturday. Usually it's 9 a.m. Pacific on a Saturday morning. But Nicole, this has turned into the coolest thing because it's just a bunch of people come and hang out. I list, I chat about different things I'm using. I chat about, ooh, why that won't work there, or oh, I'm going to try this instead. I share little tips because I'm basically just thinking out loud. But a lot of people just come keep their mind off of everything that's going on in the world. Whatever's going on in your world. This chat is really fun. As you can see, there's a lot of people that tune in every week, and I think a lot of these ladies have kind of become friends because they see each other. Every week, and it's a super friendly bunch. You guys share information, you share things about yourselves, you share ideas. It's just really turned into such a fun community that we have here, and I love it. And that's why I just keep making sure we do it every Saturday because it is so fun. It's fun for me. I know it's fun for you guys, but it's hard for me not to do them. So that's why we were doing later today because I couldn't say no. I could not do it because I had to teach this morning, but we make it work. The good news is I can't look at my calendar yet because I haven't changed it over. We should be able to be back to our regular listing standard time. That's our LST instead of like Pacific Standard Time. That's regular listing standard time of 9 a.m. Pacific time. I don't live in Pacific time. It's just most people, we're in that weird time zone called the Mountain Time Zone that people like gloss over. So Pacific time. We'll be back to 9 a.m. Pacific time next Saturday. Today's the 5th, so that will be next Saturday the 12th. We will do 3 more holiday lists, and we'll have lots of fun. So if you are new and you just happen to stumble upon us, because that's what happens, you can go to my website and sign up for my emails. That way you will get information each week about the link for today, link for our session, as well as the list topics. You can click the subscribe button here on my YouTube channel, and then you will be notified when I have new videos. You can also click the little bell that will give you a little notification when a new video is happening. Okay, my friends, thank you. Thank you for another super fun Saturday. We now have 3 more lists. I still need to do a video of the first, well, I need to do lots of videos. I need to do a December daily video tomorrow. So what that means, while I have everything out and set up, I'm going to also do a video of the first listing book that I have done. Last thing related to that. Way down in the very bottom of the description of the video, I always have listed flip through videos of a special project that I did. Oh, I just saw somebody say, "Hey, Mom." Hi, Sam. Sam can't stay away. Sam popped on and said hi. Sam, the ladies were very sad when I told them that you moved yesterday, and so they wouldn't see you. But I think that you'll come. This project, you guys, this big chunky. So that big chunky Traveler's Notebook. Those are a ton of lists that I did. Oh, is Jack on too? I missed Jack. I was chatting. Hi, Jack. Oh, love it. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming, boys, and Nick. Anyhow, this was part of a project that I did, oh my gosh, 5.5 years ago now, called Listers Got a List. Some of you know of that project. That was started by an individual by the name of Corey Speaker. You may know of her as the Reset Girl. But that's how I really started using a Traveler's Notebook. I didn't even know back then that is what I had bought. But I was making my lists in a little Traveler's Notebook, and I have linked to flip through videos of this. These are lists and lists and lists, probably 90 maybe of different lists that I had done. So if you want to see that, I have flip through videos in the bottom of the description, the bottom of the description of the video as well. All right, my friends, thank you. I know it looks like a Bible, right? It's a listing Bible. It has a ton of different lists, and this is what I think is really cool, and this is why I think I like to list. And I've talked before about why I like to list. I like to list because that's how my brain works. If I get overstressed about something and I know I have a lot to do, just the fact of writing it down takes it off my mind. Debbie, Corey, and Mark I know, they're wonderful. Mark, her husband, too. I actually got to know Corey really well when I worked at Simple Stories because we did a co-branding with her. So anyhow, but what's really cool, 37 weeks. Oh my gosh, Colleen. Okay, Colleen just checked. 37 weeks in a row we've been doing this. Guess it sounds like we're pregnant, right? I'm 37. I am not 37 weeks pregnant. We're 37 weeks of being together on Saturday. That's really cool. Anyhow, what's so fun about these lists? These are like the creative lists that we do. And these are just, it's been really fun for me to go back and look at these lists. And I know, Jack, right? 37 weeks. I think it would be really cool for Jack and Sam to look at some of these lists too. Like one of the lists was favorite breakfast cereal then and now. So just funny things, but it makes you think about how when you were a kid, you liked Captain Crunch. And then you remembered, oh my gosh, but it would like totally rip up the roof of your mouth. Let's see, current shopping list. So we could do a list about shopping. Anyhow, those were just a bunch of lists that I did way back then as part of the project that she did, Listers Got a List. So That's a long conclusion. That's a long wrap up, friends. But I have what time is it? I have a YouTube birthday party to go to in an hour. I am going to go freshen up. I'm going to have a glass of wine and then do my YouTube birthday party. So, not my birthday, a friend's birthday. Thank you guys. Please be safe. Wear your mask, even if you don't want to. I'm the mom that's going to tell you, wear your mask, even if you're older than me, and you could be my mom. Still, wear your mask. Be safe. It's important. I will see everyone hopefully next Saturday, and we'll be back to our regular listing standard time of 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.